ठीक है, चलो मैं एक और करता हूँ। पता नहीं ये वाला क्वेश्चन हमने किया था और वाज इट दिस क्वेश्चन और वाज इट सम अदर क्वेश्चन। इसी को कर लेते हैं। आई थिंक वी वर डूइंग द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन। अच्छा, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस क्वेश्चन, इसमें मैंने क्या कहा था कि व्हाट यू गोइंग टू डू इज कि वही सब कुछ होगा, यू विल हैव इनिशियल मोल्स, राइट? एंड उसने कहा है इनिशियल मोल्स मिक्सचर कंटेनिंग 0.4 मोल्स, वो दिया है इनिशियल मोल्स, ठीक है। और वो कह रहे हैं कि केसी की वैल्यू इट्स ऑलरेडी गिवन, ठीक है। तो केसी इज ऑलरेडी गिवन, so the question is we need to find what the equilibrium moles are, right? तो वो हमने फिगर आउट करना है एंड आई हैव नो आइडिया। तो आई डोंट नो कि सीओ में से कितने रिएक्ट करेंगे, ठीक है। सो आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू अज्यूम कि एक्स रिएक्टेड, राइट? तो 1:1 is, so if x of this react, so x of this would also react. And since it's one reacts with one, produces one of this and one of this, so x would react with x and produce x of this, and x of this are going to be produced. So this is just my assumption. तो पीछे कितने रह गए? 0.4 x reacted, so you're left with 0.4 minus x moles. इसकी भी 0.4 minus x, और वहां पे x प्रोड्यूस हो गए, so that's 0.2 शुरू में थे, and now x moles have been produced, so you're left with 0.2 plus x, और उसके भी 0.2 plus x. ये सारों को क्लियर था? This was is this fine? You found your equilibrium moles, right? Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Acha, you don't need to find concentration, although he did give the volume, but no need to find concentration, because if the number of moles on both sides are exactly the same, it's not going to have any units. So moles directly use kar sakte ho. So Kc would be product concentration in dono ka, that's 0.2 plus x into 0.2 plus x, so that's basically 0.2 plus x squared, divided by the reactant concentration. So the reactants are 0.4 minus x into 0.4 minus x. So it's basically 0.4 minus x, and that's going to be squared. And the value is already given. Kc is 6.4 times 10 power minus 1. So that is already with you, 6.40 into times 10 power minus 1. And all you have to do is you have to solve this. So pehla kaam kya karoge? You'll take the under root. If you take the under root on both sides, this would become under root 6.4 into 10 power minus 1. And then you're going to try, this is 0.64 basically. So then you're going to try and solve this. It's going to be 0.2 plus x. Okay, or I'm going to take this to this side. So it's going to become 0.4 minus x into 0.64 under root, right? Okay, these are getting multiplied. So if I open the bracket, it's going to be 0.4 multiplied by, or two values aayenge. It's going to be plus and minus. Okay, so so 0.4 into under root 0.64, and then it's minus x into under root 0.64, or दूसरी side पे you've got 0.2 plus x. Now put the x terms on one side, so it's going to be x plus x into under root 0.64, and on the other side you'll have 0.4 into under root 0.64 and minus 0.2. और इसको divide कर लो, x को common लो. So if I take x as common, it's going to be 1 plus under root 0.64, and this would be 0.4 times 0.64 under root minus 0.2, and the whole thing gets divided by this thing. So 1 plus 0.64 under root. So one of the x values would be this one, and the other one, ये मुझे कोई calculate करके बता दे. What is this? What are you getting for this?
0.06.
So you're getting 0.06. The other one would be, you're going to solve it using minus 0.64 under root. So all you have to do is कि यहाँ पे ना there's going to minus sign आ जाएगा because it's minus 0.64 under root, and this plus would also be minus. तो उसका solve करो तो क्या value आती है? You're going to get two values. One is with plus 0.64 under root, the other one is with minus 0.64 under root. तो दूसरा क्या आ रहा है? It's 0.4 into minus 0.64 under root in minus 0.2 and 1 minus 0.64 under root. किसी ने try किया?
Sir, minus 2.6.
Are you sure minus 2.6? So okay, I'm going to go with that. Now be very careful. Like let me try and do this on my own as well. Okay, minus 0.4 times under root 0.64. Okay, ये हो गया. And I'm going to put that. Make sure use brackets properly. Okay, and then it's minus 0.2. Okay, I'm going to put another bracket around the whole thing, and then I'm going to divide it by 1 minus under root 0.64 minus 2.6. Okay, that's fine. So just make sure okay, your calculator works fine. Okay, so you've got two values, 0.06 and you've got two values x. One of the values is 0.6. The other value is minus 2.6. One of the values is going to be the incorrect value because remember okay, your equilibrium moles can never be negative. Okay, equilibrium moles can never come out to be negative. I mean, moles cannot be negative because you either have 0 moles. Okay, if you're counting something, to ya to hoga nahi wo apple. If you're counting apples in a basket, so it's either going to be 0 or it's going to be 1 or it's going to be 2. You're never going to have minus 2 apples in the basket. So equilibrium moles cannot be negative. Cannot have a negative value. So these numbers over here, they should not come out to be negative. So if you use minus 2.6, this would come out to be negative. 0.6 ke saath, it's not going to come out to be negative. If you use 0.6, this would be 0.4 minus 0.6. It's still coming out to be negative. Aise. Are you sure you're getting 0.6?
Sir, I got 0.6 अब आप देखिए.
नहीं 0.06 था, sorry. वो मैंने गलत लिखा.
Oh.
हाँ बस ठीक है. 0.6 के साथ तो ठीक था. It's 0.06. So this is going to be 0.34 then. This is going to be 0.34 and 0.2 plus this is going to be 0.26, right? And this is going to be 0.26. So end baat jo hai na wo ye ki aapke jo your equilibrium moles should come out to it should have positive values. Okay, it should always have positive values. Okay, is that clear?
Yes.
So which is why you're not going to take this value. So most of these questions are kind of is all clear? Mine is this clear? Aisha, clear?
Yes, sir.
So baki ye ke these the exactly same question. I'll just do the work here. I'll just I mean I said remember these type of questions are going to be kind of exactly the same. So dobara se I think he gave you the KC value pisle part mein. Somewhere he gave you the value of acha mere khayal se is question mein na wo this is given. KC is 140. He's given you two values. I also told you 59 is 650 Kelvins pe 140. You have to look at what temperature is he talking about. He's talking about 650 Kelvins over here. So aapne is pe 650 Kelvins wala na KC use karna, which is 59. So KC over here is going to be 59, right? So ab mujhe nahi pata, I have the initial moles. I don't know what the equilibrium moles are. You get no idea what they are. तो मैं कहता हूँ कि जी X react हो गया. तो इसका भी X react होगा. It's 1:1. So how much HI would be produced if X of this react with X of this? इधर क्या होगा? How much HI would be produced? कितना होगा? 1 reacts with 1 and produces 2. Anyone निकाल क्या होगा? Munib? If
2x.
2x होगा ना? Yes. बड़ी क्लियर है ना ये मतलब क्योंकि आंसर इतना लेट आ रहा है 2x produced, right? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so your equilibrium moles are going to be 0.02 pehle the, and now your x of them have reacted, so it's 0.02 minus x. And this is 0.02, and x of them reacts, so it's 0.02 minus x. Or yahan pe it's going to be, you had 0 and 2x got produced, so you're left with 2x. तो ये आपके मोल्स आ गए और इसको Kc का expression बनाओ. What would be the Kc expression? It's going to be hi squared. So Kc would be hi squared, so it's going to be 2x squared divided by your h2 and I2. That's 0.02 minus x and 0.02 minus x, so that's 0.02x squared. That's equal to 59, and you solve this. You can solve it in the same way. Find two values of x. But end mein yoga ke x should come out to be, I mean, this equilibrium moles, they should come out to be positive values. And you have to be very careful solving this. Don't make any silly mistakes when you're solving this part. Janati, you clear?
Yes, sir.
Acha, baki ye ke same as this one. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll link it up with moles questions. Okay? For example, I mean, this question over here, they've just linked it up with moles. He's saying ke shuru mein na 6 grams ethanoic acid hai. So this is ethanoic acid, but they gave it, I mean, they gave us 6 grams of CH3COH. So moles, we would have to calculate moles. How do you calculate moles? Moles is mass divided by MR. So this is, I think, 60. So iske moles kitne bane? 0.10 moles, right? 6 divided by 60 is 0.1. So, acha, isi tarah ethanol is given that's 6 grams. So if you're given 6 grams of ethanol, so ethanol is C2H5OH. Its MR, if you calculate, it's 46. So ye mujhe bataiye ki kitne moles aa rahe hain. How many do you get for this? Is it 0.13? 6 divided by 46. What do you get for this?
Yes, sir. 0.13.
So you're getting 0.13 moles. Or 4.4 grams of ethyl ethanoate, this one. So 4.4 grams of this thing, CH3, CO2, C2H5. Iska total corona, that's going to be 4 carbons, that's 48 plus 2 oxide 2, 80 or 8 hydrogens, that's 88. So MR is 88. So how many moles is that? Mass divided by MR, that's going to be
0.05.
So you're getting 0.05 moles of this, okay? So it's otherwise the question is kind of the same. It's just that they linked it up with moles. So I'm going to do I mean, this one is still kind of an easy question. It's they just mixed it with moles. So wo keh raha hai equilibrium pe 0.04 hai. So how many of this reacted? Like you had 0.1.
0.06.
So that means 0.06 reacted. तो फिर साथ वाले के कितने react होंगे? It's 1:1.
0.06.
So this could be 0.06 guy. They have reacted. So and आगे जाके produce कितने होंगे? It's all 1:1, right? So 0.06 produced. And 0.06 of this also got produced, right? So अब निकालो के 0.13 थे, 0.06 are gone, so you're left with how much? You're left with 0.07.
Yes.
0.05 the and 0.06 are produced. So now there's extra 0.06. So it's going to be 0.11 moles, right?
Yes.
और उसके शुरू में तो थे ही नहीं, 0 थे, and now 0.06 got produced, so you're left with 0.06. Okay. So you found your equilibrium moles. So otherwise the question was kind of the same. It was just that they had mixed it up with moles. Or isme bhi na, you can use moles directly because the number of moles in the products and the reactants are the same. So Kc is not going to have any units. Okay. So concentration nikalne ki zarurat nahi hai. You don't need to find concentration. You can use moles directly in the expression. So the expression is going to be what? It's going to be these two divided by these two, right? So it's basically yahan pe chota sa likh lo, it's going to be 0.6 into 0.11 divided by 0.04 into 0.07. Is that clear?
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Aisha, clear? Maheen, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Achha, so explain why KC has no units, because the numerator terms and the denominator terms are the same, so they get cancelled out. Achha, now this one. So sometimes a moles question can be slightly more difficult. So this is probably the hardest one so far. Most of the questions are like really simple, but this one is kind of difficult. पहले तो वो कह रहा है कि this carboxylic acid reacting with an alcohol, this is ROH. R usually stands for the rest of the molecule. If you have a carbon chain, right? और उसके OH लगा हुआ है ना, तो sometimes you refer it as ROH. That simply means कि we don't care what this is, rest of the molecule, and so it's a simpler way of writing an alcohol or whatever you want to write. You just ignore the carbon chain. Achha, so it's an alcohol, so वो कह रहा है expression लिखो बैठ के ना, तो write an expression and find the unit. So it's products. So CH3, CO2R, that's an ester, right? Uski concentration. And then there is a water molecule, its concentration, and everything would be divided by the, so everything is going to be divided by the reactants, which in your case are ethanoic acid. So COH concentration and your alcohol concentration, that's your expression. And no units, right? मतलब दोनों साइड पे मोल्स बराबर हैं तो वो वैसे ही कैंसिल आउट हो जाएगा, x into x divided by x into x. So all the units get cancelled out. So you know, easy part. Now this difficult part. Now for this we would have to now listen to this carefully. Okay, it's related to this reaction over here. So he does an experiment to determine Kc. A student places together in a conical flask 0.1 mole of ethanoic acid and 0.1 mole of an alcohol. So let's say ये हमारा ना वो beaker या conical flask है, ठीक है, whatever this is. Now what he's doing is, okay, he's placing together 0.1 moles of ethanoic acid. So इसमें उसने डाला 0.1 moles ethanoic acid, बल्कि साइड पे लिख लेते हैं. अच्छा, इसमें he added 0.1 moles of our carboxylic acid. ठीक है, ये वाला बीच में ऐड कर दिया. And then he added 0.1 moles of an alcohol. So 0.1 moles of alcohol were also mixed. And he added HCl as well, 0.0005 moles of HCl. That's also being added. 0.005, 0.005. Sorry, 0.005. So that's an HCl, and he says that that's a catalyst. He's saying that it's a catalyst. Catalyst, what happens to the amount of catalyst? Does it change or does it remain the same throughout?
Remains the same.
ठीक है, so ये point याद रखना कि it's a catalyst. जितना मर्जी reaction हो, it would remain the same. इसने change नहीं होना. ठीक है, it remains the same. अच्छा खैर इनका reaction शुरू हो जाएगा. उसने कहा it was kept, the flask was sealed and kept for 25 degrees centigrade for 7 days. तो आपका जो carboxylic acid है ना और आपका जो alcohol है, they are going to start reacting, right? And what would they produce? They would produce some ester and some water molecule. So some ester and some water molecule are going to be produced. We don't know how much. So 7 days के बाद ना क्या होगा आपके पास? कि some ester, मतलब ester को भी मैं इस तरह लिख लेता हूँ, RCO2 और R, and some water molecule present, right? Is that clear? ठीक है, मतलब obviously reaction होगा ना, दोनों, these two will react together, so they would produce an ester and a water molecule. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Or what would happen to the quantity of this? This quantity would decrease, right? So it would no longer be 0.1 moles. It's going to be less than 0.1, right? Because we don't know how much is reacting, but we know it's reacting. So ye bhi na less than 0.1. So is that clear as well? Okay, after 7 days, the carboxylic acid, the catalyst would remain exactly the same. So after 7 days, there would be some carboxylic acid left because we're assuming not all of it reacts. And there would be some alcohol left as well. Or wo jo thoda sa react hua na, they would produce an ester and a water molecule. So is this part clear to everyone? Were you clear, Maheen? Mikal, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, now what he does is, after this time, the student titrated all of the contents of the flask with 2 mole per dm cube NaOH. So ab aaya upar se NaOH. We are assuming that the equilibrium has been reached. ठीक है? Now what he's doing is कि इस पूरी चीज को ना, he's titrating it with NaOH. मतलब इस जो भी इसके अंदर ना मिक्सचर बना हुआ है ना, जो everything is being titrated with NaOH. The time student titrated all of the contents. उसमें वो HCl भी शामिल हो गया बीच में, ठीक है? तो इसको बल्कि HCl को भी बीच में डाल देते हैं कि that is also part of the mixture. तो ये पूरी चीज जो है ना, that is reacting with NaOH. और उसने कहा कि NaOH का the concentration of NaOH is given, that's 2 mole per dm cube. And the volume end point पे जो volume था ना NaOH का, that was 22.5 cm cube. So the volume that's used is 22.5 cm cube. So NaOH को बीच में डाला, NaOH reacted with whatever it wants to react with in this mixture, right? First thing, what is the amount of NaOH used in moles? So क्या होगा? Volume into concentration. So what are the number of moles you're getting for NaOH? Moles क्या होते हैं? C into B. So it's concentration times volume, 2 into 22.5.
45.
नहीं, उसको डिवाइड बाय 1000 भी करना है क्योंकि डीएम क्यूब में होना चाहिए. तो कितने मोल्स बन रहे हैं?
0.045.
ठीक है, so you're getting 0.045 moles. ठीक है, that's the moles of NaOH. So now the second question is, what is this NaOH reacting with? I mean, that's the question. So who is it going to react with? पहले तो बताओ कि it will react with HCl, right? I mean, what is the amount in moles of NaOH that reacted with HCl? I mean, we know that NaOH reacts with HCl. But in सारी चीजों में what are the things that are present? There's HCl, there's carboxylic acid, there is alcohol, there's an ester, and there's a water molecule. मुझे pinpoint करो कि this NaOH, what are the 2-3 things that it's reacting with? Does NaOH react with alcohols or not? Well, alcohols का कोई reaction है with NaOH. I mean, they don't. If you look at the chart, वो किधर है chart हमारा? इसके साथ ही होगा. ये एक सेकेंड. So if you look at the chart and you zoom into alcohols, you would notice that alcohols have no reaction with NaOH. They do react with Na, but not with NaOH. तो इनका तो कोई reaction नहीं है. तो इसका एक तो मतलब हो गया कि किधर गया कि अल्कोहल का तो कोई काम नहीं है. और इसको मैं हाईलाइट करूं, ब्लैक में कर लेते हैं. अच्छा, so NaOH is a base. Remember, this NaOH would react with carboxylic acid, right? And it would react with HCl. उसके साथ करेगा. ये बाकियों के साथ NaOH का कोई reaction नहीं है. So remember, NaOH जो आपने डाला ना 0.045 moles, that's going to react with this thing and that's going to react with this one. The first thing is वो पूछे जो 0.045 डाले ना, how much reacted with HCl? So this is what we are going to answer first. ठीक है, तो तो NaOH और HCl किस रेशो में रिएक्ट करते हैं? They react in 1:1, right? अच्छा, और शुरू में मैंने पूछा भी था कि does the amount of HCl change? It does not change. HCl, how much HCl did you add? 0.005 moles, right? And it's a catalyst, so catalyst remains unchanged. So how much NaOH would react with it? It's 1:1. The 0.005 of HCl will react with 0.005 moles of NaOH. Is that clear?
Yes.
चलो, इसका मतलब है कि ये जो 0.045 ऐड किया था ना, ठीक है, जो 0.045 आपने ऐड किया था, you figured out कि 0.045 moles में से ना, you figured out that NaOH की बात हो रही है. You figured out that 0.005 moles are reacting with HCl. तो ये बाकी किसके साथ रिएक्ट कर रहा है? जो बाकी, how much is left? 0.04 moles of NaOH. So they would probably react with the carboxylic acid, ethanoic acid, because that's another acid. तो उसने कहा कि इक्वेशन बनाओ ethanoic acid और NaOH की. So we'll make the equation कि the carboxylic acid would react with NaOH and it would form a salt and a water molecule. It's again 1:1. तो अगर 0.04 moles NaOH react कर रहे हैं तो the amount of ethanoic acid would also be 0.04 moles. अच्छा, anyways, I'm going to sum this up. This is what's happening. You added 0.045 moles of NaOH and it reacted with the whole mixture. But the entire mixture wasn't reacting. It's only the HCl that's going to react and only the carboxylic acid that's going to react. We figured out that we added 0.045 moles. So HCl हमारे पास पड़ा था 0.005 moles. So इसका मतलब है 0.005 moles of NaOH is reacting with the HCl. So if you remove that 0.005 moles, you're left with 0.044 moles of NaOH. What is that reacting with? That is reacting with the carboxylic acid. Is that clear? ये part clear है?
Yes.
Mind clear, Aisha? Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Asha, so finally you figured out by doing this titration, the main purpose was after 7 days, you figured out what is the amount of ethanoic acid that's present. That's 0.04 moles. TK, जो mixture after 7 days था ना, which you titrated with NaOH. शुरू में कितना डाला था? शुरू में you added 0.1 moles of carboxylic acid, right? But after 7 days, when you did the titration, you figured out कि भाई यहाँ पे तो it's only 0.04 moles of ethanoic acid that's left. So there's a table given that at the start you had added 0.1 moles. But when after 7 days you did the titration, you figured out there's only 0.04 moles of ethanoic acid that is present. Initial moles to 0.1 ही थे. So is this idea clear? They calculated the equilibrium moles using a moles question. I mean, using titration. Okay, start में you added 0.1 moles. Even we figured out that equilibrium per moles would be less than 0.1 because there's going to be some reaction. We titrated with NaOH. We figured out these are the moles of NaOH that are used. We figured out that इनमें से ना 0.05 reacted with HCl. So whatever is left is going to react with the carboxylic acid. So if whatever is left, 0.04 moles, if it reacts with carboxylic acid, that's also 1:1. तो उसके भी इतने moles होंगे equilibrium पे. So after doing all those calculations, we figured out this thing. अब बाकी काम आसान है. Now it's a Casey question. You've got 0.1 moles and at equilibrium you have 0.04 moles. That indicates that 0.06 गायब हो गए. 0.06 must have reacted and 0.06 must have reacted. ये इनका reaction है ना. So 0.06 must have reacted with 0.06 moles of alcohol. और आगे जाके produce कितना हुआ होगा? 0.06 got produced. And 0.06 of this also got produced. तो इसके moles equilibrium पे वही होंगे. 0.1 शुरू में थे and 0.06 are gone. इसके 0 थे, 0.6 got produced, and so it's going to be 0.6. 0 थे and 0.06 got produced, so it's going to be 0.06. ये गलतियां ना करना. अब है Kc की value. You can find the value of Kc. It's going to be product concentration divided by reactant concentration. So it's going to be 0.06 multiplied by, and the whole thing gets divided by 0.04 into 0.04. So that is now your Kc expression. लेकिन ये वाला part clear है सारों को ये चीज? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. तो just remember, ज्यादा questions तो direct ये होंगे. Well, that is easy to do. But sometimes they're going to mix it up with moles. वो बीच में उसने titration भी mix कर दी थी, ठीक है? कि using titration you were supposed to find what is the equilibrium composition of the mixture. चलो ये तो सारा वो हो गया, Kc हो गया, ठीक है? And I think probably the Lee-Shatler principle, this one is exactly the same. Given the value of Kc, you just have to do the exact same thing. Okay, मतलब quickly क्या है? X reacted, तो उसके भी X reacted. दूसरी side पे X are going to get produced. It's 1:1. X are going to be produced. So it's going to be 0.5 minus X. This is going to be 0.5 minus X. This is going to be 0.2 plus X. This is going to be 0.2 plus X. और वो बस किसी की वैल्यू निकाल लो. अच्छा, बाकी फिर वो अभी देख लेते हैं कि जनरल से ये क्या दिया हुआ है. तो ये भी वैसे ही है, ठीक है? मोस्ट
Sir, can we
हम्म
KP?
जो कर लेते हैं, के भी कर लेते हैं. मैं बस देख रहा हूँ कोई और इंटरेस्टिंग कोई क्वेश्चन है. अच्छा, ये मैं बस एक के भी मैं एक ही क्लास में करना चाह रहा हूँ. ये मैं थोड़ा सा कर लेता हूँ, ठीक है? इट्स जस्ट के ये वाला पहले कर लेते हैं कि 2 moles of SO2, 2 moles of O2 ये शुरू में ऐड किया ना. हाँ, 2 moles SO2, 2 moles ये इनिशियल है, और उसके SO3 ऐड ही नहीं किया, so that's 0 moles. इक्विलिब्रियम पे 1.98 moles of SO3 are present. तो इक्विलिब्रियम के ऊपर 1.98 पड़े हुए. तो इसका क्या मतलब? 1.98 got produced, right? तो अब मुझे बताओ कि 1.98 प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए how much SO2 must have reacted? It's 2:2, right?
1.98.
So 1.98 reacted, right? और O2 के कितने रिएक्ट हुए होंगे? It's 2:1. क्या होता है 1.98?
0.99.
ठीक है, वो रिएक्ट हो गए. तो पीछे कितने बचे? 2 में से 1.98 are gone, so you're left with 0.02. Is that correct?
Yes.
और इसके 2 में से 0.99 अगर चले जाए तो what is left? 1.01. What 2 minus 0.9?
Yes. Yes.
अच्छा, 1.01.
Yes.
अच्छा, ये तो 1.98 ही था, ठीक है? अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन में these are your moles, equilibrium moles, right? Should I, for calculating Kc, do I need to find concentration or not? Yes.
You need to.
I need to, because the number of moles in the products, it's 2. The number of moles in the reactants, that's 1, and 2 of this 3. तो equation में ना moles बराबर नहीं है, तो Kc will have units, which is why वो जो volume वाला part है वो cancel out नहीं होगा. So you have to divide by 40 dm cube हर किसी को, ठीक है? इस चीज का ख्याल रखना है, इसलिए मैं एक क्वेश्चन कर रहा था. तो Kc expression would be the SO3 part squared So it's 1.98 divided by 40 and that's going to be squared. Or नीचे क्या होगा? It's going to be SO2 squared. That's 0.02 divided by 40. And that's squared. Or O2 जो है that's 1.01 divided by 40. और इसको ना कैलकुलेटर पे करके देखो क्योंकि कैलकुलेटर पे केयरफुली करना है. You have to use brackets a lot in your calculator to find this answer क्योंकि कैलकुलेटर पे it's very easy to get this wrong. Clearly बताना है कैलकुलेटर ने क्या करना है. ठीक है, make sure you practice this on your calculator. अच्छा तो और ये भी क्लियर है कि अगर दोनों साइड पे मोल्स बराबर ना होना तो ये जो 40 वाली टर्म है it's not going to get cancelled out. क्योंकि न्यूमरेटर में 2 दफा 40 आ रहा है, डिनोमिनेटर पे 3 दफा 40 आ रहा है, so the expression will have 40 in it. तो केसी बस निकाल उससे.
Sir,
Yes.
could you check with the answers? Because I'm getting 300,000.
For this one?
Yeah.
फिर यही होगा. It's going to be S18 QP23. Just a second. 9701 underscore S18.
Did anybody else do it?
क्या QP23 था?
Sir, I'm getting 1.5 to the power of 1.5 times 10 to the power
Huh.
of 7.
मेरा इसी पे फोकस है कि remember ये जो calculation है that's not an easy calculation. Don't take it lightly. और स्पेशली ना मतलब एक रूल याद रख लो. मैथ, फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, एवरीथिंग. ठीक है, whenever you have a lot of multiplications and a lot of divisions, it's very easy to get that wrong on your calculator. I mean, पहली attempt तो definitely गलत होगी. मतलब ये assume कर लोगे the first attempt when you try to solve this on your calculator, it's going to be wrong. But you have to put as many brackets in your calculator. Clearly समझाना है. Make sure you learn how to use your calculator. ठीक है. अच्छा, anyways, ये कौन सा question था? This was S18 किधर है? MS23. I think this one. इसका आंसर देख लेते हैं. Okay, this one is कहाँ गया equilibrium?
Oh, sir, never mind. I'm getting 300,000.
तो 2 का 300,000 आ गया तो फिर तो ठीक है. ये question किधर गया वैसे?
Likely to be correct, sir.
Hmm?
Yes, that's
नहीं.
what I got, sir.
इधर गलत है. 300,000?
That's what I got, sir.
This one?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's what I got.
Acha, so it's, I mean, not exactly 300,000. That's 380,000 something. ठीक है.
Yes, sir. I got 388158415.
बस ठीक है. Plus ये चीज भी ख्याल रखनी है. Why did he use 3 significant figures? Because remember, your answer cannot be more accurate than the values that they're using. कि अगर वो 2.00 यूज करे ना तो उसका मतलब है उसको बस यहीं तक पता है. उसके बाद 4th significant figure is uncertain. You don't know whether it's a 0 or it's a 1 or it's a 2. So 3rd तक आपको पता है तो आपका जो भी आंसर आएगा ना, it's round. Make sure कि your accuracy is up till the 3rd significant figure. ठीक है. Although उसने marking scheme में he has accepted 3.882 as well. लेकिन remember वो चौथा जो है ना उसमें uncertainty आ जाती है. You don't know what the 4th one is. क्योंकि you don't know what the 4th one is in the original values. कि 2.00 के ऊपर ना you don't know what the 4th digit is. मतलब वो नहीं आपको पता कि वो 0 है या क्या है वो. You have no idea. तो इस चीज का ख्याल रखना. Make sure your answer do not exceed the accuracy of the values that you're using to get those answers. 40 का भी उसने 3 significant figure दिया हुआ है. That's 40.0. यानी he knows that it's accurate up to this point. He doesn't know what's after that. He doesn't know what the 4th number is in the value. ठीक है, clear है? तो ये people lose marks for this. ठीक है, make sure कि calculator के ऊपर ना वो लंबे चौड़े numbers आ रहे हैं ना, just don't randomly use them. Make sure to round them off to the right significant figures. ठीक है, clear है?
Yes,
sir.
sir. Very clear.
चलो इसके बाकी इसके ना वो देख लेना. Explain what is meant by the dynamic equilibrium. ये सारा देख लेना. That's, I mean, more general. It is large scale. Why is this reaction helpful? Because well, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, so I mean that's why it's good for the environment. So it's getting removed. मतलब इस तरह के general है. ये Lee Shatler state 2 है वो तो pollutants के. From your understanding of these state 2 conditions that could be used in order to produce a high yield of methanol. So it's exothermic, so lower temperature, right? And it's फॉरवर्ड में लेस gas है तो हायर प्रेशर, और उसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन आप लिख लेना, ठीक है? तो इन सारों को भी देख लेना।
Stress?
यस,
Like, is this chapter done?
no, we have to do KP questions now. KP is
Okay.
kind of the same, except that there's this, I mean, everything is the same except for one very small step that has to be done before you find KP. तो अगली क्लास में we do KP questions, ठीक है?
Okay.
चले, okay. So, okay everyone.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Okay, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.